This episode of SpectreSoundStudios is brought to you by Audio Blocks. Hey everybody, it's Friday. It's time for SMG viewers' comments. Welcome to episode 90. Let's get right to it.
Glenn, I'm starting a band with a few mates from school and having trouble find a decent bass player. Surprising, I know. But I need to know, would you be better off without a bass until we find somebody who knows what they're doing, or take anyone and work with them to improve?
Oh, that's the real trick, isn't it? I find a lot of people settle and think, oh, well, we'll teach the guy how to play bass. I know I did the exact same thing in my high school band. The problem is most people like that really don't want to learn or put the effort into learning. And that's usually why you wind up with the rule number 2 syndrome. Don't wait around for a bass player. Maybe, get a keyboard and, you can time everything out and have a synth bass play. At least you guys will start playing gigs and whatnot or practicing. And in some cases, and I'm not saying all, but in your situation, maybe a machine can do a bit better job than a basement bass player can. Seriously though, don't settle. Get somebody who can play the instrument. Don't waste your time on somebody who's not going to put the effort in that you're putting in.
I can get this sound with cracked plugins for my $100 sound card. Both sounds is shit, however, most likely due to your guitar playing.
Oh, yet another bedroom warrior with cracked plugins who's going to set the world on fire with his incredible mixing skills. Your lordship, we await your awesomeness. Please blow us all away. We're waiting.
If there's one thing that I hate, it's how wanting to make money somehow makes you greedy, a sellout, a money whore. Forgive me for wanting to be able to have a decent meal, clothes without holes in them, and good internet connection.
Well, here's the thing. You're only a sellout if you're making money at something somebody else wishes they could make money at. Like YouTube.
Is your left eye okay, Glenn?
Yes, actually, it's absolutely fine. I've noticed that I've had a few comments on this over the last few weeks since I got the 4K camera. You guys are all making comments on this, like, what's that all about? That's something I've had to live with since birth. I'm going to cover that in another episode on one of my Sunday rants that I'm still writing. And I'm going to get into that a bit more in depth. But yes, I'm fine. No, a bass player did not slap me. I've had this since birth. So it's just something I had to deal with my entire life. And you find out just how wonderful human beings truly are.
Glenn, what are your thoughts on shoegaze music?
Glenn, wake up, we're filming!
Oh, sorry. Oh, here. Oh, sorry, I was researching shoegaze.
Glenn, what do you think of Studio 1-3?
I think PreSonus should send me a copy so I can review it. If anybody knows anyone at PreSonus, have them contact me. I'd love to take a look at it.
Have you considered doing a series of videos about budget instruments? I've been looking around at basses that are less than $700, but I've found very little information from actual players of those instruments, so the ability to discern the quality of those instruments in that price range is pretty difficult.
Dude, I actually have something called the sub $500 guitar challenge. We had an entry from Legator. That was a 7-string that was about $350, which was just amazing. A lot of what I do is bang for the buck, actually. I'm going to be taking a look at some lower priced drum sets and some basses as well. Some advice I can give you for a cheaper bass guitar that's going to do amazing, especially in the studio, is a made in Mexico Fender Jazz. I've got one that I found in the local classifieds for about $200, and it's wound up on an awful lot of records. It's just a wonderful instrument for not a lot of money. So yeah, there are bargains to be found, and believe me, I want to help you guys find them. I suggest going through some of my reviews, some of my demos, and taking a look at what I've done, because I've got about well over 300 videos now. There's a large body of stuff you can check out. I see a lot of you guys asking questions for stuff I've already done. Look through my back catalog, guys. There's tons of stuff in there. Hey everybody, so this week we are proudly sponsored by Audio Blocks. Audio Blocks has one of the largest stock audio libraries with over 100,000 tracks, loops, music, and sound effects. And I gotta tell you, it's an awful lot of fun. There's all kinds of crazy effects, and I am looking forward to using them in many of my upcoming episodes, because music and sound effects can really set a mood. This month, Audio Blocks is also launching a new collection featuring hundreds of new fantasy and sci-fi inspired tracks. These now all come included with your subscription. Now, what's really cool is that we're giving away 7 days of Audio Blocks so you can try it out and explore this new collection for free. Go to audioblocks.com/future or click the link in the description box below to start downloading and get started today.
What the That microphone is $65 extra in India, but you got a nice vid and a sub too. It's 1 a.m. here and him here in YouTube.
I can't do anything about the markup prices in India. Blame your retailers for that. You might want to take a look at maybe ordering online from Tomen. Maybe they can get you something reasonably priced and shipped to India for a reasonable price as well. Stay tuned for more information on that. We'll see what we can come up with. That's one thing I'm going to be working with you guys for, is trying to get some of the more worldwide subscribers, try and find you guys some deals as well. But, dude, you're in India. You're not that far from China. I'm sure there's probably some kind of Chinese equivalent to that mic, because I guarantee that mic's probably made in China. Anyway, thank you so much for subscribing. I think it's amazing, the metal scene going on in India right now. You guys are awesome. Keep doing what you're doing, because you kind of got your own thing going on, and I think that's absolutely tremendous. Good for you.
I kind of had a problem with a Guitar Center employee. It was when I was only working 3 days a week, school is a thing, and I wanted to put in EMG 60 and 81 pickups in my Epiphone Goth Flying V, so I had to buy the pickups one at a time. I bought the EMG 60 from Motor City Guitars in Waterford, best music shop. When I bought the 81 at GC, the clerk gave me a hard time about only buying one pickup. His attitude made me just want to say and walk out. The guys at Motor City are more polite. Seriously, Glenn, next time you cross the border to Michigan, take a trip to Motor City.
Funny you mentioned that. I've been going there for years. That's my absolute favorite music shop in the Detroit area, because they don't just do guitars, they do drums, they got all kinds of cool stuff. Not a lot of recording gear, unfortunately, but if you're a guitar player or a drummer, yeah, they are definitely the place to check out. It's actually where I got my Angle cab. I go to Motor City Guitar every chance I get. But about the Guitar Center thing, you felt like walking out. Well, don't just feel like it, do it. And on your way out, ask to talk to the manager, okay? Because the one thing they hate are drop and walks, okay? They're there to make money. If their employees are interfering with a sale being made, believe me, the managers want to know about that shit. Just, on your way out, casually mention, hey, I was going to buy a pickup, but the guy behind the counter was giving me some attitude, so I figured I'd go to your competitors where I know they're not going to treat me like shit. Maybe you guys should work on that. You'd be surprised how much traction that gets with management. I've always had this philosophy: if I'm spending money in your store, do not f with me. End of story. The minute I get attitude from somebody, f you, I'm on my way. I'm off to the next shop down the streets, because I'd rather take my money where my business is appreciated. And if you have a problem with that, go f yourself.
As a bassist, I have to say, this bass doesn't thrill me for the price. It's not anything impressive for the price, but if they're a custom shop. I get it, since they mostly assemble the instruments themselves. I don't know, it's all about how it feels in the end. And when it comes to that, sometimes price factor get thrown out the window.
Amazing statement, clear as mud. Might want to work on that, because I have no idea what the f you're talking about. I have an easier time understanding the guy reading back my order at f***ing McDonald's through the broken speaker box. English, or do you speak it? Boy, I can't wait to make a record with that guy.
I can do this is pretty much how a lot of my life has come to, and why I am a composer for movies now. Haha.
Yes, you can do it. All you need to be is f***ing motivated. It's one thing to talk about doing something. It's something else to actually implement your ideas into action and discipline yourself enough to do it. I see people who are successful in their fields doing creative arts, and talent has something to do with it, but it's a very slim percentage. What it is dedication. It's hard work. It's being willing to put the time in and disciplining yourself enough to be able to do it. So you guys out there who are aspiring to be musicians, who are aspiring to be engineers, don't be afraid to put the work in, because it will pay off eventually in the end. But you have to put the work in, and it's going to be a lot more work than you think it should be.
Talking about nervous musicians, how would you react if someone came to your studio nervous and scared and played really sloppy?
Funny you mentioned that. I remember way back in like 2002, probably just before we did the Woods of Ypres album, I did a band called Defaced, and I guess, we had a meeting, and I explained what was expected from the band, and the guitar player was so nervous on the drive up to the studio. They lived in the next town over. It was a good 20-minute, half-hour drive one. I guess he puked in the car on the drive up. Rolled down the window, puked out the side, the whole deal. The ironic thing is, when he got to the studio, he just completely kicked ass. He did great. We had a great time. We had a great session. I didn't find out about the puking incident until like a couple of weeks later, because I guess he was just too embarrassed to mention anything. The rest of the band's like, yeah, he puked in the car on the way up, dude. I'm like, what the for? He was great, but he came well prepared. So there you go. Maybe scaring the shit out of the musicians helps a little bit at times. It's like, do your homework or Glenn's gonna get you, that kind of shit. But seriously, generally when somebody's unprepared, I'll send them home. I've had a lot of situations where bass players just aren't ready. I'm like, go home, go learn this. I've had situations where singers aren't prepared, I've been like, get yourself a copy of The Zen of Screaming by Melissa Cross and go practice, because this will help you. And I've seen that video just work miracles with certain guys. So there you go. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Make sure to check out Audio Blocks. It's absolutely awesome. I will see you guys next time. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this episode. If you like the content, please support the channel either at my SMG shop or through my Patreon. If you want to see more, hit one of the playlists. Thanks for watching. I'm out of here.